Then they got this guy, deranged Jack Smith, a lunatic, and they put him in because he was the meanest prosecutor you could find.
Former special counsel Jack Smith has long been on Donald Trump's enemies list. He is not only the meanest federal prosecutor, he is the only federal prosecutor to successfully indict a youth speaking his mind, most recently with our friend Andrew Weissman.
Once we get in a position where we start talking about maybe not following court opinions we don't like, we are lost.
A document so powerful, prosecutors are calling it the smoking gun. A piece of evidence that could for the first time bring a former U.S. president face-to-face with conviction. Good evening, you're watching SFA News, and tonight we're breaking down the explosive discovery shaking Washington to its core. Special Counsel Jack Smith has revealed a classified Pentagon document that he says proves Donald Trump knowingly kept national secrets and even bragged about it. The file, tied to war plans against Iran, was reportedly shown off during a private meeting at Trump's Bedminster Golf Club in 2021.
Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed Smith as the special counsel in November. He is also investigating Trump in regards to the January 6th insurrection and the transfer of power following the 2020 election. New case will have no impact on Trump's case here in Manhattan Criminal Court. In Lower Manhattan, Tim McNicholas, CBS 2 News.
It didn't take long for Donald Trump to fire back at his special counsel, Jack Smith.
CBS 2's Tim McNicholas has more on Smith's background.
Nothing like what we see now has ever gone on. Process shouldn't be a political issue, right? Like if there's rules in the department about how to bring a case, follow those rules. You can't say, I want this outcome, let me throw the rules out.
And in that now infamous audio recording, Trump can be heard saying, quote, "This is secret. I could have declassified it while I was president, but now I can't." Those words, 7 seconds of tape, could become the most incriminating evidence ever recorded against a former U.S. president. Jack Smith's team calls it clear, direct, and devastating.
Prosecution of our movement by our corrupt and highly partisan Department of Injustice and deranged Jack Smith. Doesn't he look deranged? You see the picture with the purple robe? He's a deranged human being. We're getting stronger by the day. Somebody said, you should treat him nicer. Maybe he'd be nice. Let me tell you, he achieved in this incredible 4 years, and we had to go through Russia. We had to go through the Mueller report, which after 2.5 years said no collusion, right? No collusion, it said, with Russia. We had to go through all those phony FISA things that were signed so badly. We had to go through a lot.
One Justice Department insider told reporters, "This is the kind of evidence that ends defenses, not trials." The document is part of a 170-page filing detailing how Trump allegedly stored, discussed, and obstructed efforts to recover government secrets after leaving office. Investigators say the evidence was verified through multiple witnesses, including Trump aides and military officials present during that 2021 meeting.
That Pence will not appeal the federal judge's ruling that he must testify about what may be illegality on Trump's part that day.
Yeah, I think it's really important, Nicole. We obviously wanted very much to get this direct account of the vice president. Jack Smith is laser focused on President Trump's intent and the vice president's direct conversations with him about his position. I don't have authority to do as what you are suggesting publicly I can do and accept these Trump electors in states.
Apolitical career prosecutors. I want to make crystal clear, targeting people is completely unprecedented. No administration has ever tried it.
Prosecutors argue this destroys Trump's longtime claim that everything he took from the White House had been declassified. Legal experts are already calling it a turning point in the case, one that could carry felony-level consequences under the Espionage Act.
It didn't take long for Donald Trump to fire back at his special counsel, Jack Smith.
CBS 2's Tim McNicholas has more on Smith's background.
Are questioning results. We're talking about active pressure campaigns to get officials to overturn certified vote counts. Then there's the fake electors scheme. Smith's team found proof of coordination to create and submit false electors in multiple battleground states.
They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on.
If proven true, this would mark the first time in U.S. history that a president faces conviction for retaining national defense information. Trump's legal team, of course, calls the claims politically motivated lies, arguing that no such document was ever shown to anyone outside the government.
And it's not partisan. It is about the assaults by this administration, and by this administration in particular, not Republicans in general, this administration on the rule of law in all of its facets. And we've been discussing some of them, the selective prosecutions, the selective pardons, and there are many more that he enumerated.
So you also mentioned the pardons. And again, I want to think about how that fits into this indictment, if you will, of what the administration is doing. So it's not just these attacks on the rule of law. It's not just the erosion of checks and balances. He also didn't mince words about Donald Trump's efforts.
I'll show you the medal. Gave them a medal just like this. See? Just like that. They were so happy. Gave a lot of them out for that. It was an incredible job. You know, we had 52 tankers.
But Jack Smith isn't backing down. In a new statement, he said, "The evidence is sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial." Strong words and a clear signal that prosecutors believe they have more than enough to prove intent, not accident. Sources close to the investigation say this file is only one of several classified documents Trump allegedly flaunted after leaving office.
That will be a sad day for our country.
And all we are demanding of Vice President Pence is this afternoon at 1 o'clock, he let the legislatures of the state look into this so we get to the bottom of it and the American people know whether we have control of the direction of our government or not.
Former Special Counsel Jack Smith is criticizing the Trump Justice Department. Smith says the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey and dismissal of charges against New York Mayor Eric Adams, quote, reeks of lack of process.
Now has ever gone on. Process shouldn't be a political issue, right? Like if there's rules in the department about how to bring a case, follow those rules. You can't say, I want this outcome, let me throw the rules out.
The audio recording now under seal has reportedly been authenticated by forensic experts, leaving little doubt it's real. Inside the Department of Justice, the mood is described as confident, some even saying this is the most airtight evidence they've seen in years. Meanwhile, political tensions are skyrocketing. Republicans accuse the special counsel of weaponizing the system, while Democrats insist it's proof that no one is above the law.
James McGovern first met Smith in the 90s when they were both assistant district attorneys in Manhattan.
I think he was selected specifically because he represents an apolitical position.
Smith and McGovern later worked together as federal prosecutors.
The borders. And in the last 3 months, hard to believe this one too, in the last 3 months we've had 0 people come into our country illegally through the southern border. Nobody would have said that's possible. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, MS-13 gangbanger and human trafficker Kilmar Abrego Garcia turned himself into ICE in Baltimore. Do you have any comment on this? And why are the Democrats so emotionally attached to this man who beats his wife and is part of a terrorist organization?
On social media, millions are divided, some calling it justice, others calling it persecution. But beneath the noise, one thing stands out. This case isn't just about documents, it's about power, secrecy, and accountability. Experts warn that if this evidence holds up in court, Trump could face multiple felony counts and serious prison time. However, legal analysts also caution a smoking gun in politics doesn't always guarantee conviction in court.
New York Attorney General Letitia James. He's also suggested California Senator Adam Schiff be investigated, indicted for a crime that he may have committed. Unclear what that is. And of course, John Bolton, who had his house searched by the FBI. Unclear what the resolution of those cases are. Diane?
Would create a constitutional crisis, that there are other mechanisms like impeachment for dealing with presidential misconduct. So when Trump won in 2024, Smith had to drop the cases. Not because the evidence disappeared, not because the charges weren't serious, but because of this policy that protects sitting presidents from criminal prosecution.
The next few weeks will be critical as Judge Aileen Cannon reviews whether the document and audio will be publicly released or remain classified. If the evidence goes public, it could be the moment that changes everything. This revelation comes as Trump continues to campaign for re-election, framing himself as the target of what he calls the biggest witch hunt in history.
They're the ones that have to be investigated, and those elections have to be investigated because we have to have those honorable elections in our country. We delivered the largest tax cuts and regulatory cuts in the history of America.
That's not how the justice system is supposed to work. Justice isn't supposed to be contingent on election results, but that's exactly where we are. And it raises fundamental questions about whether we can actually hold presidents accountable for criminal conduct. Because if the answer is only if they're not currently president and don't become president again.
But with Jack Smith pressing forward, that narrative may soon collide head-on with federal law. And make no mistake, this isn't just about one man. It's about whether America's justice system can hold its most powerful accountable. For now, the world is watching. And the question remains, is this truly the smoking gun that could bring down Donald Trump?
And how you would have pursued that if you had Pence in front of you.
Yeah, it's hard to say how fertile it is. You know, there were concerns about possible election fraud in advance. I think that the defense here, the rebuttal narrative will be those were not part of a plot to lay a foundation.
We're not going to do that. We were subsidizing the entire world, and we're not doing it anymore. I informed the drug companies. I informed the world. And if the world wants to, if countries in the world don't want to go along, then I'm going to put tariffs on those countries, and we'll make more money.
Keep tracking every update, every legal filing, and every political twist right here. Here at CFA News, we'll bring you verified updates and expert analysis as new details come to light. What do you think? Is this the moment the case against Trump finally turns decisive? Or is it another chapter in a long political war? Let us know in the comments below. And this is SFA News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because we'll be back with the next big development in this unfolding political storm. Stay informed, and as always, stay with SFA News.